Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think this cartoon captures what is wrong in Zimbabwe today. In the cartoon, it depicts a family of ordinary rural people. And on the tree there is a notice telling the people that if they want to submit their comments, their views on the constitutional amendment number 3, they should do it by email. And the wife asked the husband, "What is email?" When Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF through this constitutional amendment number 3 on the national agenda, they knew it will create absolute utter chaos in the country. And it has done just that. Now we have a situation where one says this, a second one says that, a third one says something else, which is neither this nor that. Total confusion. And what makes things worse is all three believe they know best. It encapsulates why Zimbabwe is a failed state. We're just incapable of analyzing even a simple situation in a rational way and come up with a rational conclusion. Welcome to the program, Ben.
Good day to you and good day to our viewers. Thank you for joining us. I have to agree with you. I think the confusion has started from within ZANU-PF itself. Because when you hear, somebody like Minister Ziambi trying to explain, and I don't think he believes what he's explaining. That's why he's trying so hard. Today he is trying to say this, and tomorrow he is saying that. It really, doesn't make any sense. It would be just better to say, we are extending our term. The whole, look, this is an extension of a term. You would simply just say that. You don't need 45 minutes to explain extending a term. I find it very ridiculous that one would want to justify so hard. And usually when somebody wants to justify so hard, they are lying. That is my take on the whole amendment.
Well, the confusion is in the opposition too. Here is an audio recording of the Honorable Job Scala speaking on the issue.
The great people of Zimbabwe for having been patient to wait for this important address. We have now reached the Rubicon. We have now reached the most important stage in our struggle against the entrenchment of dictatorship in our country. The struggle we are currently embarking on is no different from the struggle which our forebearers fought during the period of the liberation struggle. During the period of the liberation struggle, the fight was for the right of our people to self-determination. The right to self-determination entails the people of our country to choose leaders of their own choice. Today, we are being told that the issue of choosing your own leader has been a privilege to us, and that it needs to be reduced to few individuals sitting in parliament for them to choose a president for our nation. This is an abrogation of the goals of the liberation struggle. The liberation struggle was fought on the basis of one man, one vote. It was a war cry. Everybody who followed the liberation struggle developments during our young ages would know that the war cry was one man, one vote. That the people of Zimbabwe must be allowed to elect leaders of their own choice, not to have leaders imposed upon them by few individuals. That's where we have returned now, where our people are going to be forced to accept the leadership that is going to be picked for them by a small number of individuals who will be sitting in parliament for them to determine the future and the leadership of 20 million Zimbabweans. This, in our own wisdom, we reject it. We don't accept such kind of changes to entrench one-man rule or a monarchical ascendance to power of individuals who would have been appointed by those who have become irrelevant in our politics.
What I find pathetic with that statement is it's now seeking to rewrite history. Zimbabwe has failed to hold free, fair, and credible elections since independence in 1980. We are now 46 years down the line. ZANU-PF has been rigging elections. But to somehow suggest that this proposed amendment is taking away our right to a meaningful vote is ridiculous. Because we have never had the meaningful vote in the first place for the last 46 years. That is the point. And worse still, the suggestion that somehow stopping this amendment will restore those rights is again shortchanging the people. Because even if we say, okay, the people are able to stop amendment number 3, will that deliver a democratic Zimbabwe? The answer is no. The ZANU-PF dictatorship is still there and has been there for the last 46 years. Yes, the amendment is seeking only to give the dictatorship additional powers. But we should not pretend that somehow those additional powers are what constitutes the dictatorship, or stopping them will end the dictatorship. That is totally misleading. And it is that which is creating all the confusion and chaos. One saying this, another one saying that, and a third one saying something else, which is neither this nor that. And at the end of the day, we are just going round and round in circles here.
You know, I've asked a lot of people the same very question, to say, when people are saying we want to vote for the president, and I have been quoting the Observer Mission reports. And in those reports, it says that the way we conduct our election, the whole process, is so flawed that it has become illegal, and it contradicts our constitution. It violates our constitution. So when you are saying we want to be able to vote for the president, have you ever been voting for the president? The answer is no, because your vote has been meaningless all along. And a lot of people have been quoting, the SADC report over and over and over and over. But they still have the desire to keep participating in illegal, elections that are a violation of the constitution, the same constitution that they are claiming to be protecting. The question now is, do you choose what part to protect of the constitution as long as it suits you or not? I think we seriously have a big problem when we have millions of people claiming that they are protecting the constitution, and on the other hand, they are part and parcel of the violation of that same said constitution. Because the moment you are participating in rigged elections, you are giving ZANU-PF legitimacy. You are sanitizing a flawed and illegal process. So which constitution are you trying to protect? The one that you are also violating, or the one that just because ZANU-PF has decided to violate by themselves?
My closing remarks to the people out there is simply this. You should understand that the amendment number 3 seeks to give the ZANU-PF dictator additional powers. You should not mistake additional powers with the power that he has already. ZANU-PF has got a lot of dictatorial powers. This is why they've been able to rig elections and stay in power these last 46 years. Whether amendment number 3 passes or not, we still have got a big problem here of a dictatorship. We should be focusing on how to dismantle that dictatorship and not be obsessed about making sure that it doesn't get additional powers. Think of it in terms of a snake. I'm sure people would know that a black mamba, for instance, a full-grown black mamba can inject enough poison to kill 10 people. A half-grown black mamba will kill maybe 5 people. You still have a black mamba in the house. You should still be careful that it doesn't bite you. To say that, oh, it's not yet a full-grown one, it's immaterial if you are the one facing the black mamba. If it has got enough poison to kill 5 people, it will kill you. This is why we have had the dictatorship in Zimbabwe. Yes, the amendment will give the regime additional dictatorial powers, but they have got enough dictatorial powers already. And we should be focusing on not just stopping the amendment, but making sure that we dismantle the dictatorship itself. And the way some people have now become obsessed with amendment number 3 is pathetic. Particularly in this case here, when ZANU-PF is using that amendment to deceive people. You can think of it as ZANU-PF telling the people that it's not a fully grown black mamba, as if to suggest that it doesn't kill you if it bites you. And so people are thinking, okay, we must stop the black mamba then, not knowing that it already has enough poison to kill you anyway. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.